Working still. Still working.
Sorry.
What's it
A little
look
jumpy. I don't know, but
When I was in here with them
I watched too
fees,
much, body cam.
every time there was a chair rolled in the room, that metal microphone would go, pop, just rolling a chair.
It must be too loud.
The third one or the fourth?
The middle one works. Yeah,
There you go.
Do you want me to turn it down?
Yes.
it's oversensitive or something.
Probably.
Yeah, they'll work it out. I just don't think that.
Do that again.
Anybody hear anything from Benita? Want to need a prayer? Okay. I need a prayer. Sure. We're gonna go to March 12, 2024. City council meeting, regular session to order. Want to remind everybody to silence your phones. And Ms. Lander is gonna lead us in our opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight just praising you for who you are, for the good gifts that you give us all the time, the way you take care of us, provide for us, protect us. We thank you for that. We praise you for that because you are able, you are capable. Tonight, I would ask, Lord, that you be with this council as we make decisions governing the citizens of the city of Cary. I ask that you lead us and guide us, help us to act in a professional manner with respect for everyone. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Please have a roll call, please.
All right, Councilmember O'Brien,
Here.
Councilmember Hampton.
Here.
Councilmember Woodfall, is absent currently. Vice Mayor Landry,
Here.
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Item number 3, approval of items on the consent agenda. A, to approve by approval by read by title only, resolution 2024-04. And B, approval to read by title only, resolution 2024-05. Motion to.
Second.
Councilmember O'Brien,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Receiving requests from the general public. Name and address for the record. Please also limit your comments to not more than 5 minutes. Anyone from the public would like to speak? Hearing no one, Nate, can you hear us okay? Okay, good. All right, item number 5. Bids. Have one, it looks like.
Well, no one turned any in, so we'll have to rebid it.
Good.
We got someone doing it now.
Us.
Agenda item 6A. Resolution 2024-04, a policy resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, in reference leave payout policy and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Bryan,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6B, resolution 2024-05. A policy resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, in reference of naming the field after Billy Pillow and providing for an effective date.
Motion.
Councilmember Bryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6C, council to discuss ARPA funds and to take any actions deemed necessary.
Well, I sent the email out. We have 156,000 that was used last year that will come out of the bank total. And we have a 1.4 million and change budgeted for ARPA funds. And then we've also had about $150,000 overrun on leased vehicles this year in ordering. We still haven't spent it yet. About an additional 150,000 for the electronics and cameras for the police. When things were bid out in the budget, prices have gone up. And then,
So it's $150,000 shortfall or $150,000 total.
more will be used for outfitting the police vehicles. And it'll come from ARPA, it's there. And then we've got about a $400,000 trash truck that's due to come in a couple months, right? One more. And that was actually bought.
400,000.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's.
What kind of, is it one of the claw trucks?
It's the
or-
claw.
Okay,
So,
grapple or I call them claws. but-
yeah, the claws, is what I call it too. And, so anyway, that leaves us a good $750,000 still left to spend out of the year. And we also have such an old computer system, we don't do any encumbrances on POs, but
So,
the POs would only be as budgeted.
so you're saying the balance
It's
And the
about
ARPA
750,000
in the ARPA fund is $750,000.
after encumbrances,
Yeah, after what you just said.
yes,
Available balance, if you will.
available.
Available balance, yeah, so and it has to be spent by when,
We've still got about a year and a half till 2025,
to the end of 2025 or
yeah,
budget year 2025?
well, into budget year 2025,
So September 30th, 2025.
because we got it 2 stages, and so that kind of bought us like another 11 months on the second half.
This is after the computer system and everything, this is.
Yeah. And there's still some things to buy on that, but we have budgeted
Yeah,
for all that, but things get a little bit more expensive.
what isn't?
What I'm looking at here is, I didn't get an email. Mine goes to. But anyhow, I'm looking at in the sewer, repair collection system, 100,000.
That's supposed to be SRF,
What does that mean?
Whoa,
state
that's,
revolving fund.
that's a maybe, isn't it? Or is it guaranteed?
They are pretty good at doing that.
If it's guaranteed, let's go get the money tomorrow.
I guess they're working on it.
It's not guaranteed.
then we won't get it.
Right, point is, we talked about this Cherry Street. We've got a budget here for 100,000. I will offer a motion to this council to tell the staff to fix that problem on Cherry Street. Yes. I don't want to be, do I think something's gonna happen? No, but it's possible. I don't want to be sitting up here with,
Yes.
Know what's gonna happen and didn't do anything. Yes.
I mean, there's all kinds that could go down that far and you still got big problem.
Well, he showed us the video of what's happening already.
Yeah.
The water is,
I also see it, there are other streets that are.
we can't do them all, Shirley. We're gonna
Will you
try
not,
this.
will you tell me which one? Shirley, will you tell me what street?
Listen, this is.
He can't tell you what street.
We have a grant with, through SRF that's gonna put the map out,
Right,
the whole collection
right,
system.
right. But we know, we sit here and know that Cherry Street is a problem. We know we got other problems. We don't know exactly where they are. That's my motion.
But we do know exactly where Cherry Street is.
Yes.
Yeah, that whole line.
And what funding bill?
Them
Can we get SRF funding?
right here. No, I do not want to sit here and wait
How much is
when
it?
we've got money to do it with. That's,
Do we know the total to get that road fixed?
What I got last year was like $50,000, like John, was looking through it, just to.
To fix,
Yeah, you put a big old sock, 200-foot long sock in that pipe, blow it up, heat it with hot water to seal it up, and you gotta go back with a little machine and cut out all your services.
so we've already looked at how much it's gonna cost and what procedures need to be done.
Me personally, I think $50,000 is low.
Oh, just for the minutes, can you speak in on the mics maybe and?
This one actually.
Yeah.
They have to turn it on, it's on.
I turned it on.
Okay, it's on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now,
No.
better?
Pull the mic towards you if you don't mind. Yeah.
there we go.
Okay,
Thank you.
if you're all of Cherry Street, because of the age of the pipe, it's not the pipe that's failing, it's the joints where they're connected. And that's where that infiltration is coming in from. That particular spot, we could try to do a spot repair. And it's maybe something we could invest in, buy equipment ourselves to do a small spot repair. Like, something the city of Tallahassee does. And if you get that equipment, you know, to repair a small section, it's like $300 or $400. But that tangent is, you know, we dug up a spot that wasn't quite as deep as the spot across from, the other side, the north side of Ash. And all it was the joints were sealed with concrete and it was gone. It allows the dirt to come in. That's what's causing sinkhole. We had a small repair done at Goodman's where the contractors bored through the line. It alone was $30,000. So I don't know. I would think it'd be a lot more. But yeah, we do need to. Unfortunately, it's not something we can do, but maybe we can find a plumber or a large plumber or contractor to do a spot repair on that particular sinkhole. And that would probably be the easiest, cheapest way to do it. And it's not going to address the whole road, but it will be that sinkhole. Because we have the measurements, the camera in the line, we know where, obviously we know where that one joint is leaking, that's where the road's caving in. So, and like I said, it could be very expensive for one spot, but it may be better bang for the buck to just do the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's caving in at about 3 or 4 different places, and one of them is the manhole.
So what was your estimate when we talked about 300,000 or something like that?
No.
I mean, it's hard to get a contractor to give you like a price until they come out and they look at it. I mean, it's almost like you have to pay by the foot because they got to clean it. They've got to inspect it themselves. They're not gonna go off your camera. What it is, and it's hard to get them out.
Look, there's so much going on.
Where'd you get 50,000? Just,
Yeah, where did the 50 come from?
It's for the stitcher form.
Yeah.
That's that big,
they came over and,
I sent them a video of
yeah,
the camera. They do, I think it was $2 million a year in Jacksonville. The Jacksonville budget's just to do these type of repairs.
Okay.
Do we have to pay it then?
I mean, you'll have to at least spot repair the additions. You're talking, I mean, I'd say a 6-to-6 patch over each hole at the most. Cause you would pull it up, you would dig it down, you would pack it. And once the infiltration is fixed, the void should not come back. Like I say, it would be better to line the whole thing.
Instead of just patching it up.
Yeah.
my okay, I'm gonna change my motion. To in situ form, manhole to manhole.
Mhm.
That's the only way you want.
Yeah, I agree with you, it needs to be fixed. I'm just concerned that when we start looking into it,
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be $10 million worth of it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And he's treating on a dry day, 600,000.
Yeah, when we have a rain event, like, we went back 10 years in the records, and it was January was we treated more water in January than we have in the plant's history. Almost 3 million gallons. The plant's on permitted for 1.25 million gallons a day. So, and that's why we're trying to get the grants, and you'll see like the main trunk line in sewer plants, $150,000. That's not gonna do a lot, but you gotta start somewhere because the water is killing us.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes our costs go up in electricity and chlorine, because we have to treat.
That's a different issue. That's my motion.
I'm sorry,
I said, that is my motion.
to what?
In situ form that line, manhole to manhole.
And how much is that gonna run?
I mean, me personally, I think it's gonna be $150,000 or more.
Well, can we do the homework on it? And y'all bring it back to us?
My motion stands, we have talked about this and talked about this in 50,000.
So you don't wanna go over the 50,000?
I want it fixed.
I can tell you personally that we got more sinkholes that we're gonna be dealing with here in a little bit, and that's gonna be over here off of Warner Ave.
Sure.
Okay, we got 100,000 in the budget, right there, you see them, to take care of it this year. So let's get one done, and then next year we can put 100 or whatever we need to in the budget again.
All right, we got a
I
motion.
don't think we can continue to ignore that particular one.
I agree.
Now, we got a motion on the table. We have a second.
Yes, I'll second it.
Any more discussion on it? Shirley, you got something?
No.
I'm not gonna, I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna vote for it, because I want them to do the homework on it first, and we don't just jump out there and say, let's pay this much for this much, and we don't know what we're looking at yet. So that's why my vote's gonna be.
What
no.
additional homework do you need to do
And there could do
for this
the
line?
collection study.
No, just for this street, manhole to manhole. What have you not done that you need to do?
Well, generally, a long stretch side of that is turned over to an engineer, and they will decide exactly what it needs, because it's not as simple as just, okay, come in and run a liner from here to there. So she's right.
Sean, I've done thousands and millions of dollars worth of those lines out there. We didn't have an engineer, we fixed it though.
Well,
Every time you take a breath, you don't need an engineer.
Well, I would just hate to spend, like, cause I don't wanna be a salesman will tell you, yeah, this will work.
Mhm.
and then we spend $100,000 and then so many years later it fails, we want a permanent fix.
Same thing we had on Folsom.
Yep.
We kept patching, and then we end up paying over almost 3 million to get that area fixed, because we kept patching
Yeah, and that's.
in-house. We didn't get an engineer to come out, we kept trying to fix it in-house.
So,
And that's what you're asking them to do now,
No,
if I'm not correct.
no,
Okay, so you just made,
that's what they do.
Well, are you saying it's still not fixed?
no, it's fixed now after we paid millions of dollars to get it fixed. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you said you wanted it fixed now.
No. What I'm saying is, Councilman Landry, I don't want to just jump out there and say, let's fix it. And we don't know what we're looking
I
at right now.
understand that.
Let's change the motion to get a quote together.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And funding, SRF, because the budget here says SRF.
and another issue I've run into, there's some lift stations that need to be rehabbed. I've had contractors come and look at them and never got back in touch with me. And the only contractor that I could get to fix the Goodman's job was out of Georgia, and it took him months. So that's another issue.
What do you
I
think?
do agree, it needs to be fixed.
What do you think the problem is with not being able to get contractors?
They're just, there's not many people, I guess, that specialize in those things. It's kind of like there's not a large, group of people that do it anymore. And,
I'll tell you why, because the city of Perry has such a bad reputation with contractors, they don't want to be bothered
We
with
do.
us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's the problem.
I believe that as well, and they know how bad the groundwater is here. Just like Folsom Street, when they tried to excavate it, it's 12 foot deep. 12, like, if you go in Tallahassee and dig 12 foot deep, it's not nothing. It's nothing, because the groundwater's not that bad. Here, you got to dig a hole to put this room in to go 12 feet down, if you don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to jack and bore or have the proper trenching equipment. And, I don't know how they got it in the ground when they put it in however many years ago. It couldn't have been near as wet as it is now. Couldn't have been. Because it was 12 feet in the ground, like a Folsom Street, for example. You go over there now, you dig 3 foot, you hit ground. So I don't know how they did it.
Anyways, what do we want to do? Do you want your motion to stand, or do you want to amend it to go for?
No,
Okay.
stands.
What's the funding bill? ARPA or SRF?
There's $673,000 in the sewer revenue fund.
Take out reserves then.
No, it's not
Yes, they
reserved.
were 50, nothing.
It's not reserved for anything. But what you're saying is some of that, most of it is cash brought forward.
Yes,
And,
it's reserves.
yeah, I mean, that's
Reserves.
fine with me.
That's not ARPA, and that's not SRF.
I just, it just needs to be
Let's be
fixed.
clear.
Now that you had a motion in second, should you vote, or are you all withdrawing the motion?
No, ma'am. That hasn't been talked about for years. It's slowly going down. It's gonna go down enough, and somebody's gonna be through there with a car, and that wheel's gonna go in there, and they're gonna flip.
There needs to be a vote.
I think they have a second.
So you had a motion and a second with Landry. So Councilmember Bryan,
Yes,
Councilmember Hampton,
I want to get it done, but I want to estimate, so I would say no.
And maybe we
Hold
can find.
on, they're voting. You guys start doing.
Yes,
Councilmember
you,
Woodhull,
No,
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Tetra.
Yes. Ray, we gotta get some.
and you're taking it out of reserve,
Reserves.
not on,
pardon?
it's 750, not.
That's fine with me.
Well, you said reserves.
What was the vote passed?
I asked.
That's
let's
fine.
get the work done and decide where to get the funds once the work's done. You got SRF down there.
No, we need.
Oh, it does. I've seen it more than once. When you got an emergency, you get the work done and then you worry how to pay for it.
If it's SRF,
Okay, that's one
We need
possibility.
to get started on the grant then.
Well, you
Wait a
said a
minute.
while ago, you thought you had
It
it.
was going on.
There are three different, we're talking three different funding options. And he said take it out of reserves just before he voted.
Okay, so you got three different options. We got the money somewhere, or we can get it somewhere. Let's get the work done and worry
Reserve
about it
sounds
later.
good, and y'all were saying SRF, so it's like, okay.
Well, put in for it, Kenny.
It's gonna be about 25,000, so we're gonna have to vote on it again anyway.
Mhm.
It'll come back around.
There's others, that needs to be done.
That's what I'm trying to explain, the 600,000 to 3 million gallons a day, there are 2 million gallons of intrusion on a rainy day. Cherry
A
Creek's
lot of
probably-
that's coming from,
Let's fix one of them and then we'll address the rest of them.
a lot of it's coming from the manhole.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's what I'm.
okay, back to agenda item 6D, we got we also. Or what did, were we talking about this under the ARPA funds? We got 6D.
that's where we started.
Okay. Take any actions. Any other discussion on the ARPA funds at this point, or? Okay. Then item 6D, Finance Director Penny Stephanie to present the accrual basis of the enterprise fund. The council will take any actions deemed necessary.
It depends, Brian's wanted to ask for this, and we can start with the current year draft or the one that was audited 9 months ago. He wants to compare budget to budget. That's the end of the general fund. The budgeted numbers compared to the finals.
Well, we need to be concerned with 9/30/23.
Okay. So you've got general, well, I don't know what year he's got it. Excuse me. Okay. 23. So that's the current year. We're talking about the working draft. Okay.
Just to clarify, you're speaking of 9/30/23 of the date. Right,
We're talking about the-
John, the date 9/30/23, just clarify.
In that general fund.
There will be audit adjustments, and I'm looking at one right now. The transfers, interfund transfers between utility tax and rec needs to be dealt with. Okay,
Okay, well, we're looking at general fund right now. You want us to look at?
no,
enterprise
no,
funds?
hey, we can do this any way you
Yeah,
want
I
to.
mean,
John, when is the last time that you sat down with this staff and went over their budgets? Where they're over, under, you know, and I'm not talking about this right here from over here before it started.
Which one you think pull up? I don't know which one you're looking at.
No, I'm talking about the whole thing.
like a budget comparison or something.
You got, oh,
Excuse me, Kenny, did you give us a sheet on this, accrual basis of the enterprise fund?
Yes, I emailed the day after the
You
meeting,
emailed, but we don't, it's not in our packet, right?
correct, and then we've got it, he's got it up here. Now, this is the general fund that John opened up, but he can switch over to the enterprise fund if that's what you prefer to speak about. Excuse me. And you want the current year, it's the working draft, which is 22-23 TV trial balance.
I'm looking at finance.
Okay, now we're in general fund, if we're looking at finance.
Yeah. What's the, I'm just, it helps if you number pages.
Okay.
If you can, I don't know if you can. Know. But, I'm looking at, operating expense, ARPA, for $134,000. What does that mean to me? I mean, it means nothing to me.
Okay, you need to go back to general.
I can go to
Explain.
any of them you want to.
And you're talking the ARPA asset or the revenue or the expenditures?
I'm looking at operating expenses,
All right, operating expenses or finance.
finance.
Okay, put the finance tab, go down to 530.86. The ARPA expenses, that's the computer system. Isn't it?
No,
It's not? Check it out then.
that's not me.
Yeah, I think so.
Then this thing's got another, that's another error that needs to be fixed. If that's a computer system, it would go on to capital outlay, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's in the fixed assets, but since we have to do this, I assigned that one code because the very first transaction we did was a financial one to give all employees a premium or something. So all ARPA expenditures are under that. And yes, they get, if you go ahead and look at your capital outlays and the fixed
I'm
assets,
looking at it.
if you look at the fixed assets, they include ARPA.
It's not in there. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking at it.
And it's,
Capital outlay 640, 0.
it's not under the same expense code.
It's under capital outlay.
It's under ARPA.
It is capital outlay.
You can't track the two things in the same code.
Yeah. Penny, I'm just about to come to the conclusion, you don't have a clue as to what you're doing.
It's in the fixed assets and it's in the depreciation and.
In the general fund, there's depreciation.
Not in general fund, but in all the others there are.
You just said it was.
I'm talking in general about our.
I don't, I'm not gonna withdraw what I just said.
That's fine.
We talked about building permits some time ago about we collected a lot of money on the apartments. But we didn't get to keep it.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
That's up to the city manager, the county manager to negotiate.
Yeah. City always comes up short.
Yes, sir,
Why didn't we get to keep it?
because we're subbing it out to them
Yeah,
and that was the deal that's done.
It goes to the permit, money goes to the county.
100%.
We do all the plan reviews and the inspections and everything else of this kind.
On the capital outlays, under police, you have 6,000 allowed for the speed data collection device.
Okay, now you're,
And we decided at the last meeting, I believe, well, February the 27th, not to buy that. So that 6,000 can come out of there and go somewhere else.
yeah, that's just the budget, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the financial statements, it's kind of different.
Capital outlay.
Different year.
Different year.
Yes, ma'am. This is the one that's being audited right now. The one you're looking at is the year that we're participating.
Well, it says 8/25/23.
Yes, we were working on the budget.
they both, Diane, they both say 8/25/23.
Okay.
But there are things on, that are on the first one that we decided we didn't need to be doing,
Right.
but they're still there.
Yes, there.
Because that was the past budget, and then we change it in the computer because this is not the one that's in the system. This is, don't forget, our systems don't talk to each other. So this is what I have done for my audit entries in Excel. Everything else is on Harris.
On what?
So the TBS, Harris Computers,
Then why did you send this to us?
because she wanted to know how much was in ARPA. So I
Right.
gave you the budget document that you passed in September, and the last changes were done August 23rd or whatever. And that's, so you can see what's on there, but that's not in a Harris thing, it's the actual.
Forget that.
But you didn't really tell us how much was in ARPA.
Yes, ma'am.
No, you said you got a $2 million figure there, and now you say it's 750,000.
That's the budgeted amount. If you look at the ARPA portion, it's
Well,
1.4.
when I ask for how much is in the ARPA, that's what I wanna know. I don't wanna know about
Yes.
the budget, I wanna know the actual dollars.
Yes, we had, and I sent you all this, and right here, the working trial balance, the general fund, it's TBS, you've got ARPA, $2.8 million. And then you subtract the 156,000 that's gonna be taken out of that for last fiscal year, to do the true up. The auditor is, and then we have the 1.4 million, it's in the budget, that y'all did in August. Numbers right here, ARPA, 1.448055.
Budget. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the running total, and then the newer things that are not even in the computer, because they're just encumbered, is the TV stuff and the trash truck. Because we don't have encumbrances, so your balance is the 1.2 minus the 550,000.
Why isn't that on here? Why doesn't it show up here?
Because that was.
Why doesn't it show up that, what you got, what it's obligated to, and that type of
Because
stuff?
that was the working budget.
Forget the budget.
She,
We're talking about this piece of paper right here.
and what is that? That is the budget. That was the budget document you got. from
No,
the
mine says general fund. This one says just.
And what is your bank balance for ARPA on that? 2.8 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus what you're budgeting. Minus what's encumbered. That is what's currently left.
Why doesn't it show here?
well, it's just when I ask for a figure, I expect to get the figure, not
I gave it to you.
here and here and there and yonder.
But that's the way you have to take things out. You have the bank account, you have what's
And why can't
encumbered.
you do that on a piece of paper and then send it to me?
So
It was in the
I'll tell
email,
you
it was-
why,
it was two
Diane,
sentences.
because she don't want to.
It's just the back, I sent you the backup.
You sent a piece of paper here,
I sent several pieces of paper.
and it says, the budget says, speed data collection device. And then it's done away with, but it still says speed data collection device.
Because as you know, Bill, that is in Excel, that's not in Harris where we change the budget and we do budget amendments. In Excel,
Where,
we budget amendments.
where is the budget amendment on for this? When was this changed? 2/27.
I haven't done a budget amendment to follow, maybe we shouldn't vote on stuff till we get the budget amendments done. I'll be more than happy to do one for you.
Did this, y'all? You may make a budget amendment, but it never reaches the budget.
Yes, it does. Accounts payable posts those.
If it did, when you look at this budget, beginning, original budget, final budget, they're
It
the
would be
same.
different. That's
They're
correct,
not,
Bill.
they're the same because you don't make it an amendment
So,
on
you-
documents.
I can find you some, Bill. I'll bring some back next meeting for you. From BAs from last fiscal year.
I'm not interested in last fiscal year.
Really.
I'm interested now.
But, this all shows up in the enterprise funds, but the, OPEB, what does that stand for?
Other pension and employment benefits. The auditor will make those entries.
Otherwise,
Other employment benefits, it's a mandatory thing that we have to have now. If you remember, Bill, because you know, you used to do the capper, there's been like 100 pages added to it, and they're all on actuarial crap. And a lot of it is the other employment benefits, and it's on FRS, and it's police and fire, and they all have their own data, with like 40 pages and charts that's added to it. And I don't do that. Actuaries do, and the auditor inserts it.
yeah, I can
You get,
understand that, the way it is. looking at through water, gas, garbage, sewer, maybe others. I'm talking about, you talking about all of them. The liability. Health insurance liability section.
Yeah.
Is a debit, how come, you know?
Because I have a little beef with the auditor on that. We pay all of our health insurance physically within the year that it's incurred.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, they insist on accruing it. So that's fine. They'll zero that out probably and put another one in there, but I disagree with that.
Again, in all of them, miscellaneous revenue.
Mhm.
Well, you gotta, if you're in the city of Tallahassee or city of Jacksonville or something like that, you may have miscellaneous revenue or expense at 277,000,
Mhm.
but not in the city of Perry.
Mhm.
What those are usually is the washouts from the accounts receivables from the year before. It's a true up at the end of the year. And a lot of it just goes to miscellaneous. I mean, I have to research the specific entry.
Well,
It's not a problem, but again, when you're just throwing this out in the meeting, I
I'm
am not gonna know. what
I'm
these
throwing it out
hundreds
for you to look it up and tell me.
All right, miscellaneous
all.
for water. did you
It's
get
in,
Water.
the ones I wrote down was water, gas, and sewer.
I will look at water. gas, and sewer.
And sewer's got a miscellaneous revenue of $137,000.
I'll let you know what those entries were.
No clue. Did you get my, interfund transfers between rec and utility tax?
What about it? Oh, that's a mistake she made. I told her to correct it.
You corrected?
I believe if that's the one I'm thinking is because there shouldn't have been, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I told him to correct it.
Yeah.
That was accounts payables. Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
I have told him to correct it.
I mean, you need to sit down with the employees in each department and go over there. And they need to be looking and asking questions about why you've got me charged with $200,000 or whatever. They need to do that and look at that. And
Well, I'm with Bill on the miscellaneous figures. They're way too high. Something, I mean, a figure that's high in miscellaneous, it needs to be broken out and,
yeah,
charged to where it goes to. That's just too much in any of those departments for miscellaneous.
I'll bring you some answers.
Thank you.
I wonder if they, made a schedule of what that is. Miscellaneous.
Well, I'll look at my journal entries because a lot of it's cleanups and due tos and due froms. What I'm talking about, Bill, because there's a lot of encumbrances or all kinds of miscellaneous things, and a lot of times that's where it gets thrown as miscellaneous revenues or miscellaneous expenses. They're offsets.
No,
I can't wait till we get a new system. Oh my God. This thing throws on curves and it did back when you adjust it. You have to zero out a bunch of crap at the end of the year. And you don't sometimes know how it all got there. With the due tos and the due froms.
yeah.
Okay?
Any more discussion on the item 6B? Now we go to item 6E. Council to discuss award of RIF grant and to take any action deemed necessary.
We were awarded 300,000 to do a stormwater planning and preparation study for the rural infrastructure area.
We were awarded, okay,
That'll help us get grants in the future for stormwater projects. It was our number one thing on the LMS list. local mitigation strategy. That was our top item, was to get that study done.
I doubt one's ever been done.
Like I said, going for grants, you gotta have these studies now for in apply for them.
None of that could be used for like the problem that we have on North Cherry.
It's not, well, this.
We need to get the other study, the collection system study done, then you could use that one for projects like that. They said it works with the engineers and stuff like that.
How far was that one out, John? Do you have any idea?
That even started.
Any discussions we need to do on this or?
I'll let them know.
Okay. Very good. Agenda item 6F, council to continue discussions on solid waste policy and take any actions deemed necessary.
I was curious if y'all had any thoughts after last meeting and the article in the paper, what y'all heard from any of the citizens.
I haven't heard anything.
Haven't either, but just, I like the idea of a, some kind of collection point. We can take things,
I
But
didn't hear any objection to it once a week.
but
I've had at least 20 people come to me in various different ways, all in favor of it.
In favor of it.
It's,
Okay.
and
One per week, pick up.
Mhm.
you talking about the actual, no, you talking about garbage pickup or you talking about the
Garbage.
garbage
I
cans?
would try, yes. If they need more than one pan, we'll get them more than one pan.
where
That's part
can,
of it, right? That's part of what we discussed.
where can you put it?
roll-off site? Or a roll-off site? That we, that we're asking?
The,
Or,
The dumpsters. We own those two lots between Martine's Restaurant and those two little houses on, is it Drew Street, that compound?
we have a lot, other side of the road, said that the county has one there.
Yeah, that one.
hey, I think, I went around Saturday, I think. And about, from 7th Street to about 75% by the cemetery. I got 2 bags like that. And I couldn't find a place to put them right over here. I watched our friend here picking up one day, and it looked like it had snowed. Yeah. It's bad.
I think we start correcting it by setting an example. And that encourages people to do the same.
Yeah. I hope it works.
No, I'm not talking about us individually picking it up. I couldn't do it either, but the city can pick up and make it look nice. And maybe the citizens will follow suit and keep it nice. Maybe.
Maybe.
Big maybe.
But if we give a place to dump the stuff,
That may,
it's more hopeful.
right, that may help.
Because we are, Danielle and I had this discussion. Granted, some people live on the outskirts of the city, they're county residents, are gonna cheat and
Sure.
use this one.
That's,
And just like I'm sure there's been some city people have cousins that live out in the county. So whatever happens,
That don't, we go to once a week pickup, they're gonna put their garbage in it too.
and I'm gonna call Deep South in front of it since and just see what ideas they have on. Because we should get the dumpsters for free, and we might just need to pay for the dumping
Yeah.
and the landfill portion that could go on the landfill bills, because we're picking the stuff up anyway, and y'all are paying the
Right, it's
landfill
ours for it.
things anyway. So if it makes the town a little bit cleaner, I think that's the goal. Even if it's $1,000 a month or something more spread around, 3,000 households.
I was at the senior center. One of the employees there came to me and said, so and so is dumping in our dumpster, county resident. They said, we got it on film. And
They doing it this dumpster right here.
I approached him. He denied it. Now, the crazy part, the dumpster's open. She had to just do that. And she set it down beside it. Of course, the animals come through and yeah.
That's what strews it all over, is the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Councilman Burr had a question she's been trying to get out.
I just want to know, how is this going to solve the illegal dumping problem that we have? Because that's what's got our city looking.
Yeah.
Legal dumping.
Illegal, yeah, that's.
Just dumping along the
Take
side.
part of the vacant lot, and just.
Dumping, they bring some of their chairs.
It may, if they've got a place. It may, but I know
I doubt it.
I could show you some
We
places.
gotta do something, we gotta try. We
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
try to encourage them to follow the rules and do what is right.
It's not gonna fix everything, but I think it helps.
No,
Even if it fixes 30% of it,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
garbage we have lying around.
then that's 30% less her department's gonna pick up.
And put in a pay for pickup.
We'll see what Deep South can offer us, because in the contract, they pick up our dumpsters, but I realize the volume of this is gonna be. If they'll pick it up for free and maybe we just pay the landfill ticket on it, would be my negotiation suggestion. We'll see what we get.
Because they're already getting charged for it.
My problem is this. We do not have a problem with charging our citizens more money,
Mhm.
when these things are expected for us to keep our city clean. So why do you want to charge them to pick up the white goods? I just don't think it's a good idea.
I want to do it that way, you'll encourage them to take it to the roll site, wherever we put it. So just up by the street.
So if they continue to put it out by the street, where we're going to, as far as that, we're gonna pick it up, or we're gonna go and get someone to knock on the door and say, hey, here's your fine, what?
I think we ought to take it a step at a time.
No, because these are questions that already been asked of me to ask what, because they're sick of it. Every month, we add something else on to their bill, every month.
And the city's not getting anything.
So these are questions that I've been told to ask.
This is just a general idea of it.
I'm all for we finding a place for them to take it to. I'm all for that. But I'm not for.
Those that came.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm not for just every month we taking something else on to that water, sewage bill or gas bill.
Not getting a drop more for it.
well, I don't think we're to the point of whether or how much we're gonna charge anybody. Right now, we're trying to figure out the logistics on how to do it. Jenny said she would follow Deep South and see how they can help us, and that might help determine what, if any, charges are made. So let's just take this one step at a time.
We're doing it one step at a time. It's just questions that are coming with that one step at a time. You can't just throw something out there and then not expect people to come to us and ask us,
Okay,
okay, where are y'all gonna go from this? And then we don't have an
okay,
answer.
but we don't have an answer right now until we check out how Deep South can help
That's
us.
just for everyone. We can say what we want to say.
Well, yeah, sure.
So why we should
I
just interrupt and every time.
Excuse me.
Thank you, ma'am. I had a couple of calls saying that the city is not taking the price. And keeping our city clean. We got to quit blaming our customers for everything. We got to step up together. Yeah, I know. So we probably will be discussing this for quite a while. I think so.
Had a failure at the mill, you do what's called root cause analysis. 5 whys, whatever you want to call it, but you go down to what is the root cause of the trash getting in the street? It's not the city employees putting it on the street. You gotta stop it getting there in the first place. You go to the root cause.
It's enforcement.
Oh, a big portion of it comes out of the back of the
That's true.
It's not in space.
talked about that a little bit this morning, have an ordinance for
Since I've been here, we've been talking about it.
something for littering. I don't know what the max is, I guess 500. The max the city can put on, but we gotta do something about that. That's what a lot of it is coming back and pick up trucks.
It is.
Yeah. Just pulling out of the bags and driving down the road.
If, now,
Why don't we have the public come in and give us some suggestions?
oh, yeah, we will. Yeah,
No,
got to.
Something with the article in the paper, that be some of that coming. That's why I was asking if y'all heard anything from anybody.
Okay.
I got a handwritten letter, got a letter through the online thing.
Mhm.
I've had at least 15 people come up to me, said their wives were jumping for joy that we're looking into doing something.
Okay.
The wives are
Okay, one,
Guys don't care.
The wives are jumping.
you know, one
If
question
you
I've
will
got is,
notice at just look at any drive down the road, when you come to an intersection, look at
Mhm.
intersection, they just dump it, dump it, dump it.
And then it just blows everywhere.
I got a call today before noon. She said, when I woke up this morning, it was baby good. She said, someone came and dumped the sofa. She said, an old dirty gray sofa in front of my yard.
Just cross the road, probably.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I was gonna tell Danielle about, and it's been there about a week now.
Yeah.
What?
A sofa. Someone had just came and just dumped it on the side of the road.
Wherever they found a dump, they just,
they should never take
And
off.
see, that's the thing, that's really not good lighting on that road, so that's why you get a lot of them dumping it right there.
mhm. And only that road is.
Yeah, then you gonna check with these, you gonna check with these out then and see where they're at.
And the nice thing too is if we have it close by site, our regular guys that run the pawn shop, even if they, go dumpster dive and pull some of it out, we can pick it up. We got the tools to do it, but it's in one place. So I mean, that's a bonus. So it'll be a little easier for the guys to, pick it up.
Pick it up.
I mean, anything to keep it from being everywhere.
If you find out something, can you let us know?
Yeah.
Find out. What's that?
I thought that'd be a big thing. I drove behind the garbage truck and I was trying to figure out why the lids would stay open. So this particular stop, you sit the garbage can down and it closed. I said, that's it. They have to put the wheels toward the road. That's not it. That was not the reason. I get a lot of complaints about that as well.
Well, I ain't gonna let it.
You make the lid stand open after the end.
They wanted to know that we can make it mandatory, that we remove the garbage cans or shoot them back onto our property.
Yes, that's in our,
But it's not-
that's in the
it's not-
ordinance.
It's not,
It's not, it's not, but it's in there.
because
It's in there.
I can't move grass.
It's actually supposed to move it out of sight,
That's because we make them.
but
But that's,
It just not have been enforced.
it's,
it's enforced.
Just tell Bruce.
All right, don't you have to fill out a complaint form and sign it and put your name on it and all that?
Yeah, he'll do it. If you want your code enforcement guy to do that, I'm sure.
No, I don't. put
Say
it
the
in
word.
Newspaper.
See your word.
We
When
put it in
things
the
start
newspaper
happening,
and
it's
let everyone know.
gonna be
this
happening.
was-
Say the word. All right.
Councilmember Barnes, when you said out of sight, just away from the curb, or like literally up at the house, what does that look like?
outside,
A sight.
Ours, it's not supposed to be the way around the road with the right of way.
Okay, so if it was pulled up to a house. you
Yeah,
can
that's
see the people
fine.
To the house versus,
Mhm.
It was
because I was wondering what that was.
right?
like.
Yeah, yeah.
we could just get them to put it in the can.
I know,
We'd be
right?
100%.
Y'all are going all the way to complete compliance with none at all.
Keep the dog.
Yeah, only because, I
All
mean,
of this.
in most neighborhoods, I just see where the trash cans are placed
Mhm.
outside. I
Mhm.
never see people with that.
We're good. Agenda item 6G, approval of the minutes, February 27th, 2024 regular session.
Motion to approve.
Who seconds?
Ms. Landry?
Councilmember Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. City staff, get first.
Had Diane Schultz with North Florida Economic Development Partnership. Called me today, want to know how interested the city would be in selling the 50 acres. She couldn't tell me what it was, but she had someone interested in looking at about 25 acres of land to develop, and sounded like it'd be a significant number of jobs. With the city being willing, I don't think we'll ever get the money back we've lost on that deal, but it's time to get something going out there,
Mhm.
and how willing is the city?
I'm open for it, depending on what it is, and the city does not have to put up any money.
And we can put a contingency there. If it's to be for business, it has to be open within so many years.
There you
Or it
go.
reverts back to us.
I want something in there, if you don't have this number of jobs by this date, then you don't want it anymore.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Something along those lines.
You could also have that, clause that if they were to ever dispose of it, the city's got,
First, right of refusal.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
And make sure you're on board for we pursue it any further, because it doesn't really help our tax base much, but it is jobs.
No.
doesn't it?
It
City
is,
and
and
county.
we need it, yes.
Alright.
Good, John.
Second thing. These are the 4 streets we're going for the Scott, through FDOT. It's the same 4 we did last year that weren't approved. They already had the application. already
Have you
together.
seen, I don't know how much information is out on this new deal the governor's put out there for street paving?
Talking about a grant?
Is anybody, yeah,
Which one? I don't know, what's it called?
I don't know what it's called. I just heard it. I was surprised it was street paving.
Bishop
Give
Boulevard,
me the name of the streets, please.
Bishop Boulevard, Duval Street, Park Street, and Willow Street.
And those were earmarked last year, you said?
They were submitted to Scott last year and were not approved.
Okay.
They were, I can't remember what 2 were grouped together, but they were grouped together as a package. It would have been like Duval and Bishop, Park and Willow.
Mhm.
This year, we're just separating them out, so we got a better chance of maybe getting one approved. The CBDG grant, we're applying for street repaving. I told y'all we're gonna ask for that waiver to go above the 700,000. And they're shooting for 2.5 million, all for street repaving.
How do you feel about that, possibility? You know, if we put money in it, won't we get,
Each of those, I put 50 grand of city matching. I think I put 50, but that's, I think 50. I can't remember now. I put something in
So
there.
you matched it.
I'm talking about CDBG.
I think I put 50,000. It was
May
city
not
match.
be enough.
Piece of cake, though. That's all.
Yeah, we put some.
Oh, that's why I put 50, because that's the max points you can get.
Okay.
Okay, right. Yeah. It's,
I want to commend you.
Mm-hmm.
Good job you doing with these grants.
Try.
I just thought it couldn't be done, but.
She's showing us different.
We here. I
You're
ain't
getting
seen,
them done.
I ain't seen much money in my pocket.
Thank you so much.
With the city.
Yeah, but you gotta at least try, at least
it's
try.
always been done.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, got anything else?
That's our list that we got in some kind of work. The totals, a little over $53 million. I
That's
think
not approved.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
a dream.
What we're looking at,
Yeah.
okay.
have some kind of application in. I'll take half of it.
Mm-hmm.
You already got half.
Huh?
You already got half. You already.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not.
Give or take. 30.
press is here, Bill.
Mhm.
The press is here.
Mhm.
I don't have to figure out or fill out form one, whatever y'all got in
All right, got anything else, John? Any, got anything?
FEMA's just making me crazy.
And we got any of the money from
Of
them?
course not, they're still doing inspections, they're the nicest people. But they seem to make themselves a lot of work, and it's all very confusing, and I don't know.
They're staying. Mhm.
there. They did a shadow meeting this morning. What does HMGP stand for? Hazard mitigation. Something other. The county's got 14 million allocated, the city and county, 14 million allocated. So we should be getting some of that for mitigation type stuff.
Okay.
Hardening your structures and planning for stormwater, things like that.
Good. Anything else? John, here. The next.
Yeah, I'll have more for the next meeting, but, and I just, first of all, I want to thank everyone for letting me call you, regarding making sure that everyone was aware that the trial that was to take place on March the 4th regarding City of Perry versus Sellers and Manning, we, were able to resolve the case, and we have received the first payment of, from the Sellers and Mannings for a portion of the lot that the city has that their home is on. And so the resolution included basically them paying for a surveyor as well as in good faith placing and paying for a particular fence to be placed around the border of where the survey would suggest is the property of the cities that their house is on. And then also pay for the portion that to also provide compensation for the portion that they've already been living on that through no fault of their own had been wrongfully titled, way before they even lived there. So I'm really happy that that case resolved. But what I was wanting to say that I'll have more to report next meeting is, and it seems like it's sort of all up in the discussion even today, even though it's not necessarily this particular instance, but the idea of fines and code enforcements, or the idea of how do we enforce in a way that's effective for change, how do we enforce all these ordinances that we already have that are routinely violated, and in a way violated to the harm of the city, because the city is trying to rebuild after devastating hurricane and a loss of, a major industry. And I think it was John who mentioned, I think it was the last meeting, like if you were just the CEO of a particular capitalist investor driving through North Florida, figuring out what towns you want to make the next, big thing, or have your industry come, seeing what we all have been talking about, furniture on the side of the road, it has a price, even if it's not quantifiable, but we may be losing business. And so in my mind, even make a long story short, when I was on the beach this weekend with my nephew, I'm thinking about Steinhatchee, even though it's not us, but just the idea of how a fishing village like Destin, when I was growing up, was not this major player when it came to vacation and tourism in Florida, but now is, right? Because someone had to take value in what we and who we are in Perry, and so many people are downtrodden and depressed that, often people who are depressed, but they stop, they let the house go, they let the car go, they let everything go. And so as a community, it just seems to always get back to the idea, how can we make this place better? And how can we enforce it to make sure people actually do what we're asking them to do? And I'm hoping that, in looking at the code enforcement aspect, that the council, as we come to you with ideas on how to use law or use the law use a code enforcer, part that you all support if you see citizens who will start complaining more about actually being fined for now having levies placed on their property. You know, and so what I was asked recently, and actually it's been a lot more part of what I'm doing that I didn't even realize I would be, was, and I know John was a part of this conversation apparently recently last week with different city department heads, was about needing to come up with a process to basically start enforcing the fines and fees that are being collected by people who are violating. There's a house that was put before the zoning board, not the zoning board, sometimes I say the wrong board. No, it wasn't code enforcement. It was code enforcement, but it was, is it the Board of Adjusters who signs off on demolition?
It's one of the boards.
Yeah, I was
It's
saying,
all the same
they're the
people.
same board, right, but they just changed the hat. The person whose house that is owned, that they want to demolish had $55,000 of fines on that board, on that property to you know, as a lien, and they're asking to demolish the house at this point. But I guess I even raised this because I said maybe I'll wait to the next meeting, is that, you know, when these things start happening, there are gonna be people complaining, like the big meeting we had a few months ago, where people came and was complaining about code enforcement, that we now need to be on the same page so that we can say, yes, we're gonna stand behind this. You know, if this is an issue, we wanna make sure our community is clean, that you're gonna stand behind the efforts, the goodwill efforts that are made to enforce it. And so my little speech is coming down to this, I'm so tired, is that, I guess after, now that the matter with the Bacon Street is settled, my next, big focus outside of just continuing to learn the process is to come up with a process of how we can, start having the code enforcement area grow as far as going after these liens. When I look down on some of the cases that are 8 years, 5 years, 6 years old. I mean, I've only been here for like less than a year, that you see the same repeat offenders over and over again. We just want to make sure that we do what we can to help encourage people, even if it's the encouragement of punishment, to get it together or lose. And, you know, so that is sort of like my precursor statement. So be prepared that in the coming months, once we get this process, there'll be people who will come to you complaining more and more. And there's only so much that can be done by a municipality to control this, you know, the property that they're over in the community, and keeping the things clean. But we can't have it this, you know, we can't have it all. We can't have, oh, this looks dirty and crazy, but yet we will punish the people who are trying to keep it clean by enforcing it and giving fines. And I don't know if one of those things could be a campaign of some sort, like back in the 80s, I don't even know if they work anymore, about keeping your community clean, you know, be proud of your community, because people really are dealing with depression. And like a number of you said, often is not the actual resident where you see the trash. It could be people coming and knowing that that's not a highly regarded area or highly patrolled or highly lit, and they just dump and dump and dump. But I think until we start demolishing some stuff and taking some people's property away, some people just won't take it seriously. Not that I look forward to being a part of anything where anyone's land's taken away, but just as the council has shown great grace and recognize someone who's trying to do right, then I think when code enforcement has to not show the same grace, that we should support them. I say we, I would ask the council to support them, or at least come up with a way to help show and direct us how we can help. You know, if it's too much or whatever, be involved, you know. So I may start bringing more of that directly here versus just waiting until people complain and come here, so that you can give us guidance. Because I guess there's a reason why it seems like over 10 years, there's been no real action towards code enforcement. And I don't expect it to be cured.
And that is true, that's true.
It may even be longer than 10, but
We were only enforcing it on what we want to enforce it on.
whatever comes to light becomes a
Mhm.
political issue.
The way to do it. Cities go tear it down anyway. Now, I don't know how many pieces of property we've got out there that we've gone through the process of taking it. Problem with that is you can't get title insurance on that property for like 30 years or something. And the city's should maintain it. We don't have a ability to maintain that property. We don't want it, we don't need it, we just want it clean.
I don't think we need title insurance, do we, Bill?
No, I'm talking about if a purchaser,
If we give it to them, though, if they build a house within
they
it.
still can't be title insurance. They have to get title insurance, they can't get it.
We don't, since, I don't even know of any property that we've actually taken, like we've made them clean up or we cleaned it up. We file a lien, but that's still in their name and they're responsible for
But
maintaining it.
you haven't accomplished anything.
Well,
Because
we've accomplished a
can't pay
lot
it.
by tearing something down, but
We've taken it over after, you take it over, then you guys tear it down. And
we
then
don't
we
take.
put on that list of property.
I know of one, I'm not
I
gonna
know
name no
one too.
names, and it's not in the city's name.
It's, if you get them, just like I tried to get to work the deal on the automobiles, but I failed at that. If you get that person, and I could show you hundreds of them, they cannot take that structure down. They got no ability to do it, and they don't have any money. But if they give it to the city takes it down and leaves the land with them.
And I think that's what you're referring
Yeah, we
to, but
forget-
now
Yeah.
we tear something down, or we clean the property, there's just a lien placed on the property, we don't just take. the
How many have
property.
we collected?
Let me tell y'all what worked. I have to raise my hand. Just overlooked up here. When we allocated, I think it was $50,000 for demolition. If you would look, some of these neighborhoods where we tore the houses down, look better. We need to put that back in the budget. And start doing these houses up for sale. And get rid of it.
It's in the budget.
That's how we got 20,000 in there, which have not changed. Same 20,000 has been there. Okay.
I've been telling people, please spend it, we gotta put the liens on it,
But it's,
and then we demolition it if they gift it to us. Then we can
Yeah.
demolish it, and then we can put it back on the market.
There's a process that has to go
Process.
through, Ms. Shirley.
I know,
And once, I know there's a couple that they are working on, once it goes through that process, the city is going to tear them down. We're in discussion with code enforcement.
that works.
Yeah,
And we forgive the
But-
liens, we forgive the
Right.
liens usually, because we're not really, don't expect to get 55,000.
No.
We just want it clean. So if you know, with ownership, there is some responsibility. If you can't maintain it, we get that. So give it to us, we'll clean it up, and hopefully we'll flip it and give it to someone who'll build a home or business. Maybe a taxpayer, a utility customer. And we've done that with a few, but the problem is what property's left is in floodplains.
It is, and that's why we can't
And
get
nobody
them
wants
sold.
them. Yeah. Some's out there around 53 years. I really used to.
I still think the way to pick up these old cars is to go to the person and talk to him and tell him they give us the title to it, we'll take care of getting rid of it.
That's good.
Just tell them, do you get money for that old car?
Yeah.
And a lot of them go and get someone to come to the job. A lot of people don't know that.
So would you,
That's true, they don't know.
in a practical way, Councilmember Bryan and Councilmember Hampton, would you want that to be something that the code enforcement officers we have would consider when talking to people who need to clean up and take, like, what if?
Put it out there.
If I may, he already has.
Okay.
I mean, he's been working with people to, whenever
Get
he
that.
tags a
Okay.
car, you know, a lot of people were like, we don't know what to do. Let me tell you.
That's
Okay.
very true.
And then the tag goes away.
Gotcha.
Then it goes
It's about
away.
compliance.
The people who,
The tag.
who talk to him. and
Correct.
be-
It's about compliance too, is not as much enforcement, but just getting them to comply with code.
Mhm.
And as long as he can help them, he has been.
Good.
But, you know, if that conversation has included, you can give us the title. And we can take it from.
I don't know about that. but
That's what I said, that was
here to
like a
speak on it,
nuanced way of you sharing it, that I was like, okay, maybe as I look at processes, that may be something like, okay, this is also something. If the, you know, we can bring it back and have the council consider, because I don't even know what the cost is for writing that kind of stuff.
I've done that, I believe 3. But I knew who the owner was.
Mhm.
I said, give me the title and it'll be gone. I've still got 3. I don't know who the owner is.
What's the title transfer now?
What's the,
Uh,
how much is the title transfer?
About $600.
That's probably why.
You won't get that much.
Like, give them time.
I thought it was gonna be like
Like I said,
25.
It's not what's not gonna-
I'll provide more information at the next meeting, but I just wanted to know that.
Okay, if you bring some info back to us, can you write it up and maybe send us an email, summarize it for us?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What were you talking about, Your Honor?
Yes, your honor.
If I can get who owns these vehicles, maybe some of us know them would help you.
Help them out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
We'll tell him to give him your number.
Huh?
We'll tell him to give him your number.
Absolutely.
I'll tell him.
I have to bother him. Cause he ended up having to call me.
Telephone. Going quickly.
Anthony, you got anything?
The only thing I wanted was, are we changing the city manager's evaluations?
I think we're just gonna keep it.
Are we gonna keep it?
Mhm.
Okay, Ms. Kennedy. And one question for Gary, I guess, John. Who do you think you're gonna paint building?
I'm hoping,
I heard that you are gonna do it.
the city's gonna do it as a team,
Mhm.
and we're gonna do it once the roof is completed. There's some of the side tin, they gotta come back and finish that because they ran out of tin. I'm not sure why they ran out, but they ran out, so they have to come back and finish. And after that, we're gonna plan that, we'll be
Who's gonna do it?
the city.
We are.
Let me know and I'll be a part of that.
Sure.
I'll come out there. for
You
you.
some help, Bill.
You help cook.
Oh, yes.
We're
Yes.
gonna cook.
Okay.
That's unclear.
Then you let me know
So
now.
you have a Sampson? Landry, Brown?
The community building at the.
John, at the last meeting, I asked you for the, disposition of the gas tanks for the last 10 to 15 years. Don't believe, we know where it is, we know.
Gas tax.
Yeah, we know, so, back on, Henley, I don't know how the city got that or how long they've had it, do you know anybody?
I'm
I don't-
not sure. I have no idea.
But anyhow,
He did it to the city.
there are at least 3, maybe more people here in Perry that's got one of those motors. They, I watched one out on, close to 27 out there,
So of course, we want you to.
Forestry motor. They just drive down there and it's got the bumper and all that, push it over. Think just grind it up. It'd be a good place, Henley, to do.
To do it.
200 now. What they're
I
charging.
don't know what, I was told like 156, but
That's the new one here in town, 250 an hour, you can get it for 200 an hour.
I don't know, this guy was from Greenville, I believe. anyhow, let's see if we can find out what.
You know, that piece of property.
You know, if the city takes a piece of property, the city needs to take care of it, and that.
We keep it clean.
Yeah.
We gotta set that example.
What happened with that piece of property? The owner got tired of the city and just deeded it to us.
Really.
Well, did the city accept it then? If the
Yeah,
city
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
accept it,
I
They
think
told
we
me.
did.
That the
He
city,
was from Cross City.
I
I
don't
think he was
know.
a county commissioner there.
Is it one of the ones that has the wetlands on it? That's hard for us to get our tractors in there by the schools.
Maybe. Oh, well, it's
It's up on Green Street, Main Street.
it's on Henry,
It's on Henley.
Yeah, but it's up on Main.
Main and Henry, yeah.
And I remember Bob and Barney talking about it, just a lot of thing about, there's a lot of wetlands and stuff there, and you can't quite get a bush hog on all of it.
I don't-
Is it wooded? Is this one that's wooded?
Get what we can get.
you're in the wrong spot.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, John, you're right.
There you go.
Right,
You
yeah.
just have
That's
to
it.
click on one of them and then
Good one.
Yep. it's Main and Henley.
Yeah,
John.
anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Sean, where we at with the deodorizer for the other one?
I got a, email to Dan in the morning. The company is, I'll tell you what's good.
Well, while looking for that, not to cut you off, I don't know what it was that you were using out there before you started using the one that you were testing out. We didn't smell anything.
Didn't,
With the first one that you were using before you test this one out. We didn't smell anything from that
found a company, it's called Advanced Misting Systems.
one.
And they do things like this to, they basically just install the lift stations. I've seen, from what I looked at online, there's like, start off around $1,000.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the stuff called, odor dome. And, but I'm gonna take pictures of the lift station, email the guy, and they can suppress the smell of just water.
Okay.
Because it basically, I don't know the science behind it, but it just mist prevents from coming out of the well. So, I mean, it can be, and you said stuff we used before, they didn't smell.
Yes, because I remember you saying that you had tried something.
Yep.
But then you had found something else that you wanted to try.
Yep.
And that one is the one that we end up, the smell came back. Mhm.
It's Justin Hope. Hollywood, whichever one. Mhm.
Yeah, Jason Holyfield, he lives across city. He wasn't county commissioner. He was.
That's the end of the property and deed.
Yeah, one more thing, John,
So, more than likely we did.
Yeah.
That's the one, that's the one that came up and it was about to go to court and I just happened to know him, so I gave him a call and.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
So it's your fault.
It's my fault. I own it.
You got a lawnmower.
I'm just gonna say, you should.
Well, it was about to be a foreclosure or something that was about to go to court, I believe, and we just bypassed it.
Had a code enforcement lien, said the deed satisfies that code enforcement lien.
Okay.
I mean, that's the deal you make, is you sign it over and we get the lien.
I was trying to save us some money.
John, where are you at with the head when it comes to their evaluations for the crew to evaluate them? No, we were saying something about we were trying to do another evaluation. We hadn't done it. We're not looking into it. Yes, for the crew to evaluate them.
That's what we do now. We talking about, oh, the crew to evaluate the department heads?
Uh-huh. Like once this up under Danielle, Jamie, it's about 6 of them, isn't it? We were supposed to be working on evaluations for them also, so the crew could be able to say, put their input in.
I do their evaluation.
That's not what we were asking when we hired you. Remember, we were supposed to be coming up with one, and Jamie made the statement that you guys were trying to come up with because you didn't want to be biased, which I don't know how you can't be biased when you're doing the evaluation.
Actually, 6 months ago, we did a supervisory evaluation.
Well, we didn't get a
We're
copy.
done.
Yeah, but
And I need a
I
copy.
think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the employees, like my guys.
Doing us.
evaluation.
Doing one on you,
Yeah.
yeah.
We haven't done that, but our evaluations.
But what he
you
did
want us to
6
do it
months
for the
ago,
com- Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
but I think what you discussed was after, or we were in the process of already doing those others, they were already due.
Yeah.
I'll reset my brain. on
Yeah,
that first.
because.
I know it's a lot going on, because this
Yeah.
is the thing, I work in the field. And I have been noticing that we are losing a lot of law enforcement officers when it comes to PD. We're getting to the point now where we're getting younger ones, and if they're not trained out there in that field by someone older, we're gonna have a problem. So we need to know why these guys are leaving. The sheriff department has taken, I think, at least 4 or 5 of them, and we need to know why. We need to know if it's something as a city as a whole that we're doing wrong, that we can't keep law enforcement officers. Okay? I'm done.
You did the same. You did fine. Make a decision about it. Shirley asked the question, we didn't make a decision. Are we gonna change it? Are we gonna do it? When is it due? All of that.
Oh, the evaluation.
Right, Stephanie?
Yes.
Stephanie, what do they usually do? Evaluation.
It's
It's just really, it's been whenever council decided to do the
Yeah, 'cause
evaluation.
I hadn't had a chance to do mine here.
I think we decided on the first meeting. And like the last meeting.
It says the city manager will inform the mayor when the time for an annual evaluation has occurred.
But it's time for.
You can do it 10 years from now.
It's the same. When we get to the top, then, yeah, and then, not then, Stephanie, then she sends us a copy of every.
So when we wanna say that is due? About
The
this
next meeting,
second meeting, I won't,
you won't be in next week.
I won't be.
You
won't
Yes,
say
first of April.
first one in April.
What y'all say?
Uh-oh, we're going to the final.
What you say?
That's my memory. It'll be the April 9th. Okay, I guess you gotta leave that meeting early, depending on how late it goes. We got a 7 o'clock meeting to go to.
All right, I'm gonna put that on my
Do y'all wanna do it
evaluation.
on the last meeting in April?
Are you folks gonna do the evaluation with him privately, or were you gonna do it in group?
It discusses what you do on that board.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel you need to sit down with John, then.
I'm on the paper, but then as far as the writing statement, I love to speak with you.
But you want Stephanie to get you the papers?
They have.
We have, we have.
Okay, the 23rd be okay with everybody? Last meeting in April,
Yes.
23rd of April. We'd like to do
It'll probably be okay.
So we have to get it, let you
They
definitely
just
just,
do this later.
over 23, is that what you're saying?
Mayor, Mayor.
No, this
All right,
doesn't make
hold on.
us 2 months late.
Okay, do we want to bring it up? Do we want to bring it up at the 23rd meeting, or do we want to make it do before the 23rd so we can bring it up on it?
I don't know, that's what I mean.
Doesn't, that front page tell us?
Doesn't give a date, it says the city manager will inform the mayor when the time for the annual evaluation has occurred.
We have to turn it in 2 weeks prior to the next meeting. That's it.
So you won't be here and Bill will not be
All right, we'll see.
Can y'all turn it in before then?
Turn it in 2 weeks before that 23rd meeting. Which will be the 9th.
We'll discuss it at the 23rd meeting.
Or I'll turn in by the 9th of April. before the end of, anytime between now and the 9th of April.
I mean, that's a whole month.
Yeah.
Right,
And we're gonna discuss it on the 23rd.
yes.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Did I give you enough
Now,
time,
yes.
Stephanie?
Yes, just so you all know what to do in February.
Mayor, it's time to do the city manager evaluation.
Second.
Didn't work to say that, Shirley. How would we know that?
But it's the hard date,
From
it's only 1 year.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you if you have anything.
Do I have anything?
Yes.
I don't have anything right now.
Get it.
It's the only thing I wanted to, only did want to say, I appreciate y'all, Ms. Lynn calling everybody about the settlement.
Mhm.
I could have signed it without asking anybody, however. This council works as an entire council, not just one person.
There you go.
So I asked Ms. Dennis, she wanted to check with everyone before I signed it, and make sure everybody was okay with it, if anybody had any issues.
Thank you for that.
And I appreciate y'all getting back with it in a timely manner. So, thank y'all.
We have been called.
What's your phone number?
Nobody understands.
Thank you.
I'll be on the boat.